So it's TeamStrub Day 34, and I'm here with Ed Guthrie. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Opportunity Village here in Las Vegas. Ed, can you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
I'm Ed Guthrie. As you said, I'm the CEO of Opportunity Village. Opportunity Village is a community rehabilitation program that, our goal is to help individuals with intellectual disabilities do a lot of the things that you and I take for granted. We want them to have, everybody to have the sense of pride and purpose that comes from earning a paycheck, no matter how severe their disability. But if they don't want that, we want them to make sure they have every chance to participate in their community, so that they have the chance to live, work, and play in the community just like the rest of us.
How many individuals does Opportunity Village help?
On an annual basis, close to 3,000. On a monthly basis, there'll be at least 1,300, 1,400 people per month that we serve. Some come, some go. That's how you get the higher number for the year.
Okay, and the age range of these individuals going to be?
Age range of the individuals really starts at middle school and goes all the way up to senior citizens. So you end up where you've got, we provide we have a partnership with the Clark County School District where we're able to provide arts and enrichment for middle school students with disabilities. So they get to participate in the arts. And then we have a school to work transition program, again another partnership with the Clark County School District, where we have the youth able to try out 5 different jobs in their senior year of high school so they can tell us where they want to be placed. But after that, we serve primarily adults.
Okay. How long has this organization been around?
Opportunity Village got here around the same time as Bugsy Siegel and before Howard Hughes.
Okay.
We've been here in Las Vegas for 61 years now. We started way back when we started. Las Vegas was a town of about 25,000 people. There are now 2 million people in Las Vegas.
Wow. Okay. And under your stewardship for how many of those years?
I've been here for 21 years.
21 years.
21 years.
Okay, and let's talk about the different campuses. You'll know that I accidentally ended up at the wrong campus this morning on my way to come interview the CEO of this organization, which is really great of me. But there's a number of different campuses here. Why don't you talk about the roles of the different campuses?
Well, before we do that, we should talk about the things that don't occur on campus.
Okay.
I mean, Opportunity Village, again, tries to find jobs for folks with intellectual disabilities. And so sometimes by doing that, we start small businesses. Wow. And then we hire people with disabilities to work in those businesses for us. So Opportunity Village cleans about 4.5 million square feet of government and commercial office space in southern Nevada. If you were to fly into Las Vegas and you use the restrooms at McCarran Airport, the restroom attendants are people with intellectual disabilities that work for Opportunity Village. If you were to rent a car at the car rental facility, then that car rental facility is cleaned by Opportunity Village. If you had a glass of wine at the hotel, the Southern Wine and Spirits that provides all the wine and spirits to all the hotels is cleaned by Opportunity Village. If you were a veteran yourself and you had to go to the VA, we clean the VA clinics. If you go to, if you had a brother or sister who is in the military, we serve all the meals to all the airmen at Nellis Air Force Base. We also deliver all the mail at Nellis Air Force Base. We're their postal service center out at Nellis. So we provide a whole bunch of jobs outside of Opportunity Village. And then we also train and place people. So we have a partnership with the state of Nevada and Stations Casinos where we have some enclaves in Stations Casinos, and then those individuals are learning the skills they need to become employees in the hospitality industry here in Las Vegas. So those are the things you won't see on any of our campuses. On our campuses, we have 4 different campuses. We have 3 of them we own. The one here at the the Ralph and Betty Ingolstadt campus at Buffalo and Patrick in the Southwest. Our most famous campus is the Oki campus, a little bit north of here, a few miles north of here. The Oki campus is where we have our magical forest. And our magical forest, probably somewhere between 50 and 60,000 people a year come through our magical forest. It's a Christmas festival that has become the best known and the most appreciated Christmas festival in all of Southern Nevada. We have another campus in Henderson, Nevada, which is a little south and east of here. It's primarily we primarily use that campus for document imaging and document destruction for folks.
Okay.
And then we have a north campus, and the north campus is a leased facility where we provide a whole bunch of services for people.
Now you talk about the forest. Do you have people come from distances to come visit the forest?
People will come back. Actually, the Magical Forest has been on the Travel Channel numerous times as one of the Christmas experiences. So if you were to tune into the Travel Channel around Christmas time, you'll probably see us listed with some of those other Christmas experiences. And yeah, we have tour buses that come from Southern California to be able to see the Magical Forest, but it's primarily for locals. About more than 95% of the adults who live in the Las Vegas area weren't born in Nevada. They moved here from someplace else. And so this Christmas experience kind of bonds all of those people together.
How is it trying to get these messages across about this organization in a place like Las Vegas, where so much of the public perception is, just the Strip and gambling and everything, but there's so much more to the community. So how do you get that message across?
Well, outside of the community, it's sometimes difficult to get that message across. Again, we're overwhelmed by the hospitality industry. But within the community itself, Opportunity Village is well known and has been well known for a long period of time. And we spend an awful lot of our time working with media and others to be able to connect with the locals. Those are the people we're really trying to connect with. When I interviewed here 20-some years ago, one of the people who was interviewing me said, there's really only two things that everybody in Las Vegas supports. Running Rebel basketball and Opportunity Village. And I think it's still that way.
Wow. Funding. How is the organization funded? Publicly, privately, both?
Yes, we have a unique mix of funding. We have only about 20% of the revenue that we receive on an annual basis comes from the state or federal government as fee-for-service revenue. That's pretty unique. Most organizations like ours in other states have 50, 60, 70, 80% of their revenue being fee-for-service revenue from the federal government, especially if they're serving a population that needs the level of support that the folks we serve need. Because some of them need pretty intensive support. So what we've done is we've kind of flipped that on its head. We decided a long time ago that government was not a reliable business partner when it came to providing human services for people. So we spend a lot of time developing businesses so that we can provide jobs, but those businesses also spin off some positive cash flow that we can use to subsidize other services that don't make as much money. And then we're pretty good at fundraising. And so we spend an awful lot of our time trying to figure out how to raise the dollars necessary to provide the services that we provide. And the community has been incredibly supportive. We've raised, on an annual basis, we'll raise $6 to $8 million a year, and that's not including capital campaigns and other items like that. That's just ongoing support. So it's a unique mix of funding, but it's one that has worked very well for us.
Talk about the volunteer experience. You have volunteers involved at Opportunity Village?
Well, especially the classic volunteer experience is the Magical Forest. The Magical Forest is a Christmas festival. It runs for about 45 nights. every night for 45 nights. And then during the day, we bring schools over here, and the kids get to use the magical forest during the day. So you'll have at-risk schools or schools that serve at-risk students. We'll find donors who will pay for the school buses to bring them over here so that they can experience the magical forest during the day. And the magical forest has a train, it has a carousel, it's got over 500 trees, which doesn't sound like much, except we're in the Mojave Desert. Pine trees are not normal in the Mojave Desert, and we have one of the few, if only, pine forests in the Mojave Desert. And so what we do is we give the kids the chance to experience all of that. Well, we need volunteers to do all that. It takes us 75 volunteers a night, every night, for 45 nights to be able to operate the magical forest. That's an enormous volunteer effort. Again, we couldn't do it without the volunteers. And some of the volunteers work 1 or 2 nights, other volunteers work 10, 20 nights, some volunteers work every night. It's a magnificent show of support by the folks that are volunteering for Opportunity Village.
So we talked so much about the forest. What's the one thing in the forest that you appreciate the most? What's your favorite part of the magical forest?
See, my favorite part of the magical forest is watching a 3 to 5 year old child walk through the magical forest, because the look on their face is just, it's priceless. I mean, it's one of those things where and I have grandchildren that are in that 3 to 5 year old age group, but even before that, when you walk in, their eyes get as big as silver dollars when they start seeing this. I mean, it's just amazing way they react to the magical forest. So that's really great. I think the other part, though, is again the kids from the at-risk schools. Many of these children come from pretty poor families, so they haven't. In some cases, they've never seen Santa Claus before, never been on a school bus before, never been to anything like this before, and they get to ride a carousel, they get to ride a train, they sit on Santa Claus's lap, they get to go on a giant slide that they slide on inner tubes down. It's just a great experience for them, and to see the energy that they bring. And the neat part about that is that the principals in the schools use this as kind of a learning tool. Some of the kids don't have the best attendance because the moms and dads don't get them up to get them to school. And what we end up doing is that the principal will turn around and say, if you don't come to class, then you don't get to go to the magical forest. Well, if you're not in class, I can't teach you. So if you're coming to class, it's kind of a win-win situation. The students win 2 different ways. One of them is they're in class, so they're learning something. The second one is they get to do something, experience something they've never experienced before.
Fantastic. Last question, where can people read more about your organization?
Well, you can go online. www.opportunityvillage.org is probably the best place to look for us on our website. Thank goodness we've just stood it up again, and it's with everything you're trying to make it happen. You can look for Opportunity Village on Facebook. I believe we have a Twitter account as well. There's a lot of different ways to contact Opportunity Village.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time
My
this
pleasure.
morning. I again apologize for being late, but we'll get a couple more questions up on Snapchat, and then we're going to show you guys the magical forest. If you check out my Facebook page, I will put it up here. We're going to take a walk around later this afternoon. Not you, but I am. And it's going to be fun. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Go for it.